Streaming. We're live. Where are we? All right, it looks like we're live. So about 1 or 2 weeks ago, I wanted to do an experiment where we got to watch liquid damage in real time. I streamed it, and I also recorded it to kind of make a quick 10-minute time-lapse video so you could see exactly what it looks like, what the bubbles look like under the microscope in real time as a board is turned on while it has Coca-Cola on its charging circuit. Today we're going to do the same thing, except rather than Coca-Cola, we're going to use some New York City tap water and see if it takes more time, less time, and see if the corrosion process is any different. So first thing we're going to do here is get our board set up and on screen. So over here, we have the ISL 6259 chip on an 820-3332 board. This is for the A1398 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro from 2012. This machine has a dead CPU, so it's completely worthless to me. And this machine also has this model has a number of issues it's been recalled for, so it's no loss on me to use this board as an experiment because it's pretty useless to me anyway. So what I've done here is I've hooked up my multimeter, which I can get on the screen over here, so you'll actually be able to view the voltage of the PP Bus G3 hot circuit in real time. So we can see if the voltage changes, goes up, goes down as the machine is on. It's going to be powered here by my power supply. I got my circuit specialist PPS 2116A. I got a link in the description below. And I've hooked it up to a MagSafe adapter so that we can see the power that it's using. And this is going to be fun. So this is what the circuit looks like at the moment. We are going to get this thing turned on. Or are you still going to sell your old Crest? I actually wound up giving that to Paul. Paul's been a really great addition to the store here, so it's the least that we could do for Paul, because Paul's awesome. So Paul got the Crest. Now, we're going to get this thing started. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to set the range on the meter properly so that you can see the voltage. So we've got 12.56 volts. You can see here, my power supply is on, my board is on the desk, and we're going to see what type of corrosion we get as I pour on the water. So this is the water, and this is the circuit right over here, the ISL 6259 chip, that's going to create the 12.56 volts that this circuit uses. So let's get started. I'm going to pour some nice, beautiful New York City sink tap water from my 100-year-old building on there and see what happens. This is just boring old tap water. And as you can see, the circuit instantly went to 17 volts. Now it went to 7 volts. So this is interesting because it's actually working just about as quickly as the Coca-Cola. For the spider funeral. Don't remind me of my little spider. I miss Rocky. I screw up all my personal relationships. Louis, I sent you a Titan X Pascal. Hopefully you can fix the bad resistor. We actually don't fix graphics cards, so yeah, about that. Not to disappoint you or anything, but all right. So let's take a look at this and see what this corrosion looks like, if it's doing anything. So I do hear the fan spinning. If I go close to the desk with the microphone, so this is an omnidirectional microphone, so you should be able to hear that. That's fan spin. We do have fan spin. However, the voltage of that circuit has been reduced from 12.6 volts to 8.3 volts, and that was just about instantly. And you can see that corrosion is already starting to form. You can also see the electricity moving around. You can kind of see the bubbles. So see how those bubbles are moving? Look at the little pathway. You can see that they're kind of moving from here to here. They're going from here to here. They're going from there to there. Now let's see if the bubbles stop moving if I turn it off. So I'm going to cut the power in a second. I'm going to cut the power now. And when the power is cut, the bubbles stop moving. So no more bubbles moving once the power is cut. We're just going to turn it back on. What's interesting about this is that now it refuses to turn back on. So it was on before, and it was staying on even though it was corroding. And then I turned it off, but when I turn it back on, it refuses to turn back on. It's drawing nothing from my power supply right now. It's drawing 0 amps. All right, so let's just cover that up with let's clean that up with the Q-tip and then see what happens. We're just going to clean this area up with a Q-tip, and then we're going to turn it back on and see if we get anything. So it's not just Coca-Cola that's going to cause this level of damage. You can easily cause this level of damage with just standard everyday liquid. Just blotting it all out. All right. So as you can see, this resistor, just from standard old tap water, corroded immediately. These caps up here have very, very rusted looking ends. I could probably just flick that off the board if I wanted to. And right over here, you can see that the solder on the ISO 6259 is kind of chipping away. So what I'm going to see if it turns on now that I have been able to get rid of some of that water. And it actually appears, we getting anything? Here we go. We're back. It's back to working. Taking 0.6 amps at 18.5 volts. And we've got 12.8 volts on Pepe Bus G3 Hot. I'm just going to put a little bit more water with the dropper. Let's get that circuit. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. That looks really cool in the middle. Holy, can you see that? That is so cool. Whoa. I got to zoom in on that. Ah, damn it. As soon as I zoomed in, it went away. Man, 7 minutes, 23 seconds in. That was really, really cool. Did you see that? It was like a little rainbow bubble. Oh, man, I wish that could have lasted longer. Thanks, your video saved my ass in home repair business many times. Thanks again for what you do. I appreciate that, Daryl. Thank you very much. It's very nice of you. That was so cool. I really wish I could have made that last longer. Dear Lewis, Steve said it was possible since it was a 5 MO shunt resistor on the power side. Well, I'm sure then Steve will be fixing it then. We do have a soldering station getting freed up here recently. That's how it works here. If you take something in that we don't usually work on, then the person who took it gets to fix it. So I'll and here we go. It looks like it died. We're taking 0 amps right now. Oh, nope, restarting. No, back to 0 amps, 0 amps. 0.036. It'd be cool if I could have the power supply and the multimeter on screen at the same time, but unfortunately these both use serial interfaces, which is very painful to get both working at the same time in a modern operating system. All right, it's back on, 12 volts, 12 volts. Modman says the series has been reminding me why I use a ThinkPad. Can't afford a little water on the keyboard, nuking my ability to work away from home. Yep. It's still on, but SMC communication is dead now. See that? 12.2 volts. Once you're getting 12.23 volts on Pepe Bus G3 Hot, that means that your communication with the SMC is dead. So that's gone away. And you can see that there are bubbles moving around in there, but it's not nearly as fast as it was with the Coca-Cola. However, it is doing quite a bit of damage. Not as much as the Coca-Cola, but still not something that is going to look good or be good for the hardware. And see if we can get some of the really nastier areas close up. All right, we're at 30x now. I spilled water on my girlfriend's laptop, same model. The keys in the row 6Y, HN, and camera don't work. Sending it your way when I get the money soon. Found you on YouTube. You do damn good work. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, it looks like it's dead again. We're taking 0.02 amps on the DC power supply. So it looks like the circuit is telling me that it's had just about enough. Oh, nope, starting back up. 0.7 amps on the DC power supply. And fan is back to spinning. Oh, we're falling. We're falling. 5.4 volts. That's nothing. That's not enough for the machine to turn on and do anything. You can see, even though the machine's off and it's not creating its proper voltage, that you still see all the little bubbles moving around. See the bubbles over there, going over there. And you can see in the upper left, wow, that's a lot of blue stuff. See all that blue stuff, that little net? Isn't that gross? Isn't this gross? Look at that. That blue and green garbage over there. And you can see that our top-of-the-line multimeter software here is reading OL when the multimeter says 5.6. Good job, B&K. Good job. That's how you make a $160 multimeter from a name brand. That's what you do. You use software that was compiled in 1997. Good job, B&K. Look at that. Look at those bubbles moving. Let's see if we can zoom in on those bubbles moving. Get a nice picture. There we go. There we go. That's pretty. Whoa. That's cool. I like what that looks like. Love your videos. Keep learning lots. Keep up the great work. Thank you to Rob G. I appreciate that. Pure distilled water tastes terrible. I've never tried pure distilled water. Next time I go on a date and it's going poorly, I'll offer her a glass of distilled water. That'll be my protest. Okay, we're all the way back to just 7.5, 7x here. Whoa, it's turning back on. 0.6 amps on the DC power supply. We have 288 viewers watching a board corrode. I work as a primary refurb tech at my job, refurbing upwards of 350 pieces a week, but I contend with my boss who wants quick work. Any advice? Keep up the amazing work. Holy, that can't be real. Jesus Christ. I was double checking to see if that was dollars or something else. Well, the first thing I would say is, what is the problem? You contend with your boss who wants quick work. Any advice? Well, sometimes you're going to have to compromise if you're working at one of those refurbishing facilities and you want to get good output. So the benchmark is not going to be, did every device get reassembled 110% perfectly? Because realistically speaking, your customers are never going to notice that. Like, did somebody put back this little piece of rubber in this little spot? That's, it's a refurbished device, and when people buy refurbished devices at half off, they're spending less money for the fact that that stuff is missing. So if you're dealing with a speed environment, my first question would be, are you going nuts to offer a level of quality of service that is not 110% necessary? The next thing that I would suggest is lower the standard and say, okay, I can work at this speed, but here's what I would have to sacrifice, and I'm going to go for it. And then once he starts getting returns, point out that you made the sacrifices that you had spoken about in your initial meeting as to why devices are coming back more often, because it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. The main issue is if you are working slower than everybody else. So for example, I used to have somebody who I did BGA rework for me, and it would take him 3 to 6 hours to do a single board. And he would say, I could work faster, but it may not work. And well, I thought, okay, what do I know about this? And so fine, take your time. And then I had somebody who literally had just come out of prison do that same job in an hour and 17 minutes, and it worked fine. At that point, I knew, okay, the first guy was BSing me. This doesn't take 3 to 6 hours to do. And if it does, it's because he's not good at this. So are you working slower than your coworkers, is I guess what I'd say. Are you working, is it that you care more than your coworkers, which is why you're putting in more effort than should be put into refurbished devices? Is there a way that you could figure out what standards of quality are, what standards are benchmarked and which are not? Because again, something like the little rubber piece by the heatsink missing, people are not going to care about that. They care about getting the stuff back quickly and cheaply. You have to realize what the standard of quality is for your place in the market. Let me see if you've said anything since that post that would put it more into context for me. But mainly make sure that you're not falling behind. If you're going to work at the same speed as your coworkers, if you're going to work to the same quality standard as your coworkers, just make sure you're not falling behind them there. And if your quality standard is way above or way below your coworkers who are not getting complained at, then figure out if it's worth bringing your standards to their level. Did you see a YouTube guy solder half a terabyte memory and totally functional on an iPhone? No. I use phones where you don't have to do that. What I do is, I'm the only refurb tech. I do 350 pieces solo. Okay, so then there's no basis of comparison. So this is actually a good thing because you have the upper hand where you don't have to compete with other people. He can't point to someone and say, look, he's working 50% or 20% faster than you and not getting any returns. What's up with that? So you actually have the upper hand there. So to simply point out, this is how I can get the work done faster, since you've said you need it done faster. This is what you're giving up, and I'm going to go for it. Essentially make it his problem. Make it so that, it's not you're defying him. Just do what he asks, and then when it becomes his problem later, then, it's on him. What might have happened to cause the one row of keys in the camera to stop working? Water. You can't clean a keyboard. It's never going to work. You're never going to be able to clean. There's no such thing as cleaning a MacBook keyboard so it works. You can clean a motherboard and perhaps it'll work again. But you cannot clean a keyboard so that it works again. That doesn't happen. I'm not saying that to be a salesman. It's just the God's honest truth. Like, even if you did unscrew the keyboard entirely from the machine, which you can only do with the older models. The newer models rivet the keyboard into it, so there's no way to remove the keyboard without destroying it. But with the older models, if you remove the keyboard from the machine and you put it into an ultrasonic cleaner and then you alcohol it and let it dry, you'll go from a few keys that don't work to none of them working. There is also what Michael is saying here, if your standards are where they should be, and if you're working very quickly and they're still complaining, then that may just be time to look for a new employer. The other thing is, how does he make his money? Where is he getting his 350 pieces from? You know, what I would start doing if I were you and you didn't like the way you were being treated is try to figure out where he's getting this work from. I mean, you're in the office every day. You could probably see the mailing addresses on the stuff. You can listen, overhear the phone conversations. You can hear him talking about stuff. You can, there's going to be documents lying around. Where is he getting these 350 pieces a week? Can you get those 350 pieces a week? Why is he the boss and you the employee? Why is he the bourgeoisie and you the proletariat? I mean, but really, like, what value is he adding to the transaction? If he is adding value, then stay there. If the business is not profitable and he's employing you, then definitely stay there because you're getting paid off of someone else being an idiot. But if he doesn't add much value to the proposition, figure out how to do what he does and do it yourself. I'm not saying that to be a wise ass. I mean, that's what I did, Post a link to a vid and get a comment from you. I can't watch a video while I'm doing this, I'm afraid. Do that, I'd actually have to turn on my amplifier and the speakers, and half the time I do that, I trip the circuit breaker because I fixed my own amp. You guesstimate the cost of the truck and driver to pick them up. Okay, great. So how do you become that truck driver? How do you become that person that goes to those places and picks them up? What does he have that you don't? Let's focus on that. Because, I mean, for example, for me, I would absolutely love to pick up piles and piles of e-waste. It's just every time I've done that, literally every time I've dealt with any type of recycling company or somebody like that, I've gotten sent pre-sorted garbage. And I've had school districts say, we'd love to send you stuff, and then they wind up not sending stuff and sending it to their local repair places that heat gun the CPU. And don't get me, it can be a little frustrating at times. It would be very nice to finally get some, some piles of machines that I could turn into working stuff again, since I have all the material here and the knowledge and the equipment and the know-how, rather than it going to some recycling company that just heat guns everything. But, life ain't fair. You got to deal with the cards you're dealt. And one of the cards you're dealt is knowing somebody that has access to all of those, to those contacts. So what I would do is I would make part of your job figuring that out for myself. Where is he getting those machines from? That is your homework assignment. What deals is he making? Where is he getting the stuff from? Start your own business and start doing it for yourself. That's the American way. All right, let's see what this looks like. So I'm going to just Q-tip off some more of that corrosion. As you can see, the motherboard is coming off with it. So as I'm Q-tipping, see all this blue and black stuff? A lot of that is that's essentially the motherboard. So I'm Q-tipping off motherboard here. Ugh, see all that? That's Apple product on that Q-tip. That's all Apple product on this Q-tip. Check out that Apple product. Next. Okay, so these pathways for current sensing are starting to blow out. This resistor looks like I could just flick it off the board. These resistors look bad. That probe point looks really burned and really bad, and it hasn't been that long. You know, for people that say, "But I just spilled it yesterday." I mean, this is less than an hour. This is literally this is so far about 20 minutes in, So this is really all it takes to destroy a machine. And this is with me blotting it off with a Q-tip every couple of minutes. But let's just put some more water on that so you can. Really doesn't take much to kill the machine. Does not take much at all. Whoa. Oh, we had the eye for a minute. Damn it. I wanted to zoom in on that. That eye looks so cool. Let's see if I can do that again, actually. I wanna get the eye again. That little colored eye. That is incredibly cool. Can we do the colored eye in the center? Oh, there we go. That's the reflection from the microscope. And you can see all the bubbles fizzing around it. Wow, this is so cool. And look at that split in the water. It looks like it's about to explode. Whoa. This is... This is much better than the Coca-Cola, though. I mean, the Coca-Cola positively ravaged that other board in less time. Damn, look at that. I wish I had some psychedelics right now. Whoa. That is cool. Why are you working so late, someone says. Does this look like work to you? This isn't work. Let me take the power off of it. And put it back on. Look at the capacitor on the top. Power off. Power on. It's so cool being able to see the bubbles. It's almost like you can see the capacitor corrode in real time where the bubbles are. These are junk boards, yes. What do you take me for, tech racks? I don't destroy working stuff. All right, now the fun question would be, what would happen if we upped the voltage a little bit? Like, what if we put something like 32 volts into this board? Yeah, all right, so here we got 32 volts. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's 32 volts instead of 18. Put it back to 18 volts just for fun. It still has the ability to take 12.6. That's pretty cool that the ISL can take 32 volts and still keep on kicking. This chip is less of a sissy than I thought it would be. Yes, MacBook. Meet your doom. Back to 32 volts, mofo. Let's see if this has affected the general durability. Surprisingly, I can't knock off any of these components with ease yet. I guess they look cosmetically bad, but they're actually not in that poor condition yet. You probably see Jessa knock off capacitors all the time like this, and that's probably one of two reasons. Either those boards have had more time to corrode, and since they've had more time to corrode, it's easier, or Jessa lifts more than I do. It could be Jessa lifts more than I do. She's got quite a bit of testosterone for a Mendon mom. Yeah, that's an interesting amount of durability there. And our traces are a little bit too corroded. As you can see, we've only got 1.5 volts. Oh, hey, Jessa. Wow, did you seriously just appear as I was saying that? No way. Anyway, so this is only getting 1.4 volts. It's actually not drawing any power from the power supply anymore. This circuit is done. The only reason that you see anything is because there is power stored in the capacitors from when the circuit actually worked. Will you not do a video on walkout? Not really. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people called the cops on that kid from Parkland. Like, a lot of people called the police, FBI. He made comments. That kid should have been arrested. That kid should have been institutionalized or put in jail from all the reports on him. And, but they never did it because, you got to keep your arrest ratio down so that you don't have people complaining about the school to prison pipeline. And then when he shoots up a school, it's all about the guns, not about the failed legal system or all the people that ignored the fact that he was reported. I don't really have a lot to say on it. I can't really stretch that out to a video. But anyway, that's it for today. That is what the board looks like after about a half hour of water. We've gotten just about up to a half hour of water at this time. You can see that we've got quite a few corroded probe points, and yeah, just standard old tap water there. Oh, wow. This side looks even worse. Look at that. Oh, geez. Absolutely destroyed. Just wrecked. Blown up. All right, I'm actually kind of hungry, so I got to get out of here. Probably every single place that makes a good burrito is closed right now, but what are you going to do? This was a fun little experiment. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.